What is up, guys? Welcome back to round 2 of the official 2018 career mode. I feel like I have to say that just for the pure fact of the other career mode. I don't want to get confused, but we are in the desert, the beautiful Bahrain. I absolutely love the circuit. It's probably one of my favourites. If it was in the daylight, then no, it'd be even better. We can see we got our team getting our car ready for qualifying in this very, very sandy place. But we're going to have a quick look into Q1. You can see what they did a lap, or 2 laps technically speaking, but they were both not good enough to get us where we needed to be. So we're going to go for our 3rd lap on this set of tyres. So these are fairly warm. We're not up by much. We're down in the final corner, but we get a better exit than we did the previous 2 laps. So we do actually manage to get across the line, and that's going to bump us into the top 15. So that puts us through into Q2. We just knock out our teammate Charles Leclerc. So unfortunately for him, I don't think he's made it into Q2 yet this season. But as we upgrade the car, I'm sure he will get better as we are. So onto our 3rd lap. The first 2 laps weren't great. We didn't do that well compared to everyone else. So we're just pushing as hard as we can, trying to make it into Q3 for the 2nd time in a row. That'd be absolutely phenomenal. And unfortunately, we just missed out on that lap. So we do end up going for another one. You can see we're down in the last sector, in the last corner, and we're not actually going to improve. And that was our final lap time. So unfortunately, we don't make it into Q3. So that's quite disappointing to say the least. We only managed P12, but we did give it a good old go. This car probably, it feels better than Australia, but obviously it doesn't really represent that in terms of where we qualified and stuff like that. During the race runs, we didn't get that. We got hiccups, great. We didn't get that much damage in terms of tyre wear. Obviously our IC took a bit of a beating. Me maybe spun the car. It's going to mess up our strategy a little bit. So if we stick to, I believe it's the soft and the medium, I believe that's what we you can run here. It's just going to get us hopefully into the points, because that's what we want to do really, is just aim for the points every race. If we don't, then it's not very good. I had someone say in the last video, turn up the AI a little bit. It's already on 105. I found that I did a few in the practice sessions, and that if I put a bump up to 110, the practice sessions are impossible, but on 105 I can do them. And that was represented with the AI as well. I did a race around Australia with 110, and it was, I wouldn't have thought that 5% would have made that much of a difference, but it did. So other than I wasn't as competitive, I found that I was ahead of a set of cars, and then I was miles behind another set. So in that terms, it's not really that interesting for a video. So if I keep it at 105, there's going to be some action. There will be some tracks like Spain, for example, where I'm not going to be competitive at all, because I just don't get on with that track. And we'll be a little bit further back than normal. But in terms of, obviously I don't want to be sitting here fighting for wins every single thing. If that happens, that's going to come down to strategy, or God knows what else happening throughout the thing. And obviously sometimes in quality it works, sometimes it don't. It also depends on the setup and how comfortable I can get with that. Because see, we're going to end up doing the one stop. We will start on the softs and then go to the mediums, just because it's a little bit easier. We go through Carlos Sainz, because I believe he's going a little bit slow. We're starting in P12. Sergio Perez behind us, and obviously the hash is the head. I believe that's Magnussen, judging from how long the name is compared to Romain Grosjean. Nico Hulkenberg just ahead there. So those cars, they are quick cars. Don't get me wrong, there's a few McLarens a little bit further ahead. Fernando Alonso, we've got Van Dorn behind us. So it's just going to be a mixed bag of seeing what we can do, especially into turn 1. If there's a little bit of push and shove, hopefully we can make some places up as we go into turn 1. The lights have just gone out, so we get a little bit of wheel spin, a little bit shaky on the steering wheel. Not the best start, I'll admit, but we haven't really lost that much ground. So we're going to have a look to the inside and see if we can go. We're going to follow Magnussen and just pick up as many places as we can. We're going to go side by side with, I believe that's Romain Grosjean. So Grosjean's lost out. Alonso's lost out massively, and I was quite worried he was going to get a legal overtake there, but we managed to get away with that. So that was quite lucky. So we managed to make it up into P8. So 4 positions by the end of turn 2. So that's not too bad. We're in the points. That's where we wanted to be. If we can just hold on to this, I'm not sure what kind of cars are ahead. But moving on to lap 4, Verstappen started to pull away a bit. We get an awful exit, and we've got Nico Hulkenberg on our rear wing, and it's going to be very close all the way down the start-finish straight. You can see there's not that much difference in terms of pace, considering he's got his DRS wide open. But obviously we're going to come back, we're going to go all the way to the inside. He blocks us off relatively well, but we're going to plant it down there and get the position back. So we want to keep on to this P8 as best we can. And a few more laps later, it's time to get rid of most of the grid by the looks of it. A lot of the Q3 runners who started on the super softs have gone in, including the Ferrari and the Mercedes. I'm not sure which two they were, but that moves us up into P4. A few laps later, again, we're now into P1 because all of the front runners have made their P stops. So we're actually leading the Grand Prix now, and we're just going to hold off, and we can see Bottas just absolutely overcooks it massively into the final corner. He does manage to hold on to it, but we're going to chuck up our fuel mixture and our ERS all the way up to top bins. We've got DRS wide open as well. Our tyres obviously aren't looking that great, as you probably saw, but Bottas is a little bit vulnerable going into turn 1, and we're going to try and hold this as best we can because Bottas is on softs and they're not making it all the way to the end of the Grand Prix, so they're going to have to stop again. So this is essentially, we're fighting for position here, which is weird to say in a net P1 because the AI have decided not to go onto the mediums. But we see Vettel, we're going to let Vettel go because, you know, Ferrari, we want to be in that car, you know, wink wink. So we'll let Vettel go, we're not going to cause him too much hassle. Bottas again coming back at us on lap 11. We're going to try and hold around the outside, we're not going to let him go, but we're going to do the exact same. It worked well last time, why not do it again? Let's flick up our EOS and rich mix fuel. I'm just going to hunt down Valtteri Bottas. It's going to be a lot quicker this time. Maybe he's harvesting his ERS, but we get ahead of him before the braking zone, and there's a safety car. Now that could have done with pitting, you know, previous lap. That would have been quite handy. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, if we can get a safety car, you know, that'll be absolutely fantastic. So Vettel comes in. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to stay out and let Vettel pit in again for another set of tyres, otherwise that would have helped out so much. But we're going to go on to the mediums, and I'm presuming all the AI will also go on to the mediums, that way that we can all go to the end. But I'm still ahead of Vettel, so he got held up by some traffic, which is fantastic. Bottas is ahead, but yeah, Hamilton's on super softs, so that was Hamilton in the pits as well. But Hamilton's on, okay, so Hamilton's on super softs, but he's got to pit again. This means that everyone else could be on super softs, which if it is, then boy oh boy, do we have a shout with him winning this race, because the AI have cocked up massively on their strategy. That's good news for us. We're going to see, we don't really make much moves. You can see have a look at Sergio Perez. He's so slow on the exit because of Gasly, and we're going to hold it all the way around the outside, so we make up a place on the restart just about. But Perez is still there. He's thinking about coming back instead. He is coming back at us. It's yellow flags. There's an engine blowout from Pierre Gasly. So Gasly, who literally just had a restart. So the first car that went out was Brendan Hartley. That's Pierre Gasly. And we've got Sebastian Vettel, look, on super soft tyres, just like I said he would be. So he's going to go down our inside. I'm not going to fight him too much. He goes a little bit wide, so I want to take the position back. And at this point of the race, well, if I hold him up, then he's still got a pit. He's going to gain less time than I would if I let him go. Plus, you know, if we get our elbows out, and it looks good for us, doesn't it? If we can hold off Sebastian Vettel for a few laps, let the Ferrari bosses know that we're not too bad. But we think better of it just for the pure fact that he'll only be going for like a few more laps anyway, and just like that, he's into the pit box. So that was an absolute waste of time by the AI to go onto the super soft tyres. Like, it's got them absolutely nowhere except 20 seconds back. Now that works well in our favour. Verstappen, who is behind us at the moment, of course, super soft tyres, has to pit again, so did Ocon, and everyone else, which is, it's absolutely crazy that the AI have done that. But obviously we're not going to complain. You know, we'll happily lead this Grand Prix and potentially take a win here, because what else can we do? Bottas has now caught up to us. He did put on the mediums, which is silly because it's so baffling to me sometimes, these AI. But at the same time, we've got Bottas here who is chasing us down. He's going to go all the way around our outside. He's on fresher tyres than us, the same compound luckily. But we're going to hold the inside line, bang tyres a little bit, show a little bit of elbow, and we're going to close off the corner so he has nowhere to go other than do a little bit of a break. But lap 21, Bottas is there, Raikkonen is coming, and I'm pretty sure Vettel, we can see at the very bottom of the minimap, isn't too far away. Bottas goes in a little bit deep, but he manages to hold it off, so we're going to have to try and do exactly what we did last time. Only concern being the fact is Raikkonen's behind us, and that Ferrari's going to be a lot quicker in a straight line than this Mercedes. You can see we're closing and closing all the way down the start-finish straight. DRS wide open, he has none. And we're going to bring it to the braking zone, carbon copy of the previous few laps. and we just hold our position. That's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to defend for all of our worth. Next lap, again, here comes Bottas. Going to go into the braking zone. We brake a little bit early so we can get DRS. We swoop down the inside of Bottas because he goes in a little bit deep. And we're going to hold that position for another lap. Raikkonen could very well have him, and he does. But look who's here to join the party. Sebastian Vettel is also behind us as well as Kimi Raikkonen. There goes Kimi. We're going to hold the inside line. Vettel has got past Bottas as well. So the two Ferraris are having a go at us as well as Bottas. So we've got to defend as hard as we can. Here comes Vettel. Raikkonen obviously didn't get a good run after we pushed him wide, but Vettel's going to come down almost the car length, but we hold back and we retain the position. We're just literally saving up our ERS until the final few corners. Now, I'm not sure how much longer this will work because you can see he's going to lunge down our inside. Vettel goes a little bit deep. We almost make some contact. He did exactly what Bottas did, but he might come back at us, coming down the start-finish straight. And there goes Bottas. So Bottas is looking at both of the Ferraris now. And that's going to be interesting. Raikkonen has a look at Vettel. So that's going to be 3 abreast coming into the braking zone. We're sitting here biding our time. And there's, oh, Bottas, you cheeky little fucker, you. So Bottas clips us and manages to hold off the position. But we're on the final lap. This is the final lap. We're leading. Bottas goes to the right-hand side. We're going to cover off Bottas. We're going to slow Bottas down into the braking zone to give Vettel an opportunity to overtake. He's going to go side by side with Bottas. And he's actually going to take Bottas coming down to the start-finish line. So he just secured Ferrari a 2-3 on the podium. And we get ourselves a race win. Oy, oy, oy. I'll be honest with you guys. In terms of pace, didn't deserve that at all. In terms of strategy, aced it, smashed it, 100%. Absolute calamity for the AI in terms of strategy. They literally handed us a race win on a platter. Couldn't have done anything else other than we could have cocked that up. We could have gone on the super soft just like they did, but we're not idiots. We actually made use of the strategy. So I'm astounded, and I was pushing like absolute crazy in those last 9 laps to try and hold off Bottas and Raikkonen. And obviously Vettel came, and I was thinking, oh crap, here we go. But luckily for us, it didn't turn out too bad. And obviously blocking Bottas or getting in his racing line into the final corner obviously screwed him up a little bit. We was far enough ahead of Kimi to be able to get better traction and get away from him. But we gave Sebastian just enough time to be able to go around the outside and pass him down the start-finish straight. So although we didn't give Ferrari the win, we bloody hell helped them get that podium. So I'd like to hope that the favour will be returned later on in the season, but it's not going to be. But it makes us look good compared to the Ferrari bosses. So there are the final results. Max Verstappen not doing too bad, Magnussen doing good, and Charles just missing out on the points. But that's been it for this crazy race, guys. I'll see you in the next video, and I hope it's not too crazy. I'll see you then. Till later. Bye-bye.